Hello, my Aquarian friends. I am Meg, the Elemental Empress here, doing your reading from July the 7th, 2018 until July the 14th, 2018. I'm going to do a general spread and then a love spread afterwards. I have here the Tarot of the Tattoo Age, and I'm going to be pulling one card to oversee your reading. Sagittarius got this too. Unneeded anxiety, right? You could even be having nightmares, right? Okay. Especially with Saturn and Pluto in your 12th house, right? So that can create nightmares, like literal nightmares at night. Okay, so I have here the Deviant Moon Tarot, because there is an eclipse in Cancer, in your 6th house, and of who you work with, where you work, how you exercise, how you take care of your body, right? So, Jupiter has gone, well, maybe by the time you're watching this, but on the 12th, Jupiter goes direct after being retrograde from the last, 5 months now. So this is really positive. And we have Venus moving into Virgo. So it's very, willing to work for the things that bring you pleasure, right? And with the partial solar eclipse in Cancer, in your 6th house, this could be changing where you work. You could be dealing with the dominance issues where you work, right? Because we have Pluto, Pluto in opposition to the eclipse, right? And it's also the new moon, right? So you have to set your intentions, because this one is going to be going for the next 6 months because it has the eclipse with it. So if you want to change where you work, if you want to change something about how you work, or your physical abilities, because it's your physical body, right? Then set those intentions now. What's a good thing about this is that we have a grand water trine and a grand earth trine along with it, so that it will, it'll go a bit smoother. So that's good. Okay. So let's check you guys out, my Aquarians. Alright, we have the High Priestess in reverse. So you could be, worrying about secrets, about, not moving forward, using your intuition, things like that. Let's see. And then we have the Magician in the Foundation. So the Magician in the Foundation, you might not be using your intuition about something, but you definitely look as though you're manifesting something with the Magician in the Foundation here, right? Okay, so then we have the Empress in the reverse. So you could be dealing with Empress, the Temptress type of thing. You could be dealing with a mother figure around you that is quite pissy, honestly. You know what I mean? Okay, then we have the Temperance card in the reverse. Here it is in the upright, so sign of Sagittarius. This is like being impatient, it's what's crowning you. You have, except for the 9 of Swords, we have all trumps so far. So this is pretty big reading, my Aquarian friends. Okay. Out of worry, looks like secrets, things like that, and then the Wheel of Fortune. Whoa. Okay, so, Jupiter going direct in, the next step could be changing some things for you. I apologize for the air conditioner. It's just really hot today. Okay, and then on the bottom here, we have the King of Cups in the reverse. So you could be dealing with an emotional manipulator, It doesn't have to be a water sign, but it can be. It can be any sign, male emotional manipulator. But it can be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio who is, either overly emotional or just very upset, right? Okay, so let's check this crazy reading out that you guys got going on here. There's some impatience to it. There's secrets around it, right? And it could have to do with this mother figure. Let's check it out. Okay, so you have the 9 of Wands. So, not wanting to stand up and keep, arguing, fighting about these secrets, fighting for these secrets. And this could absolutely be within your family, right? Because the Nine of Wands is like you've been through it. You know what I mean? You don't want to keep fighting for it, about it, you know? Alright, so with the Magician, you have the Three of Swords in the reverse. So, you know, healing going on through this point of manifestation, which is still affecting you now. With that in your foundation here, it's definitely affecting you now, but there's an impatience with it, right? Okay, so with the Empress in reverse, that the female figure that, you know, maybe the Temptress, she might be a really pissed off mother figure. She is with this King of Cups in the reverse, right? So, you know, it could be a water sign male that's just very emotional, but it could also be, you know, an emotional manipulator, and the two of those together are pretty nasty. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so you're definitely dealing with a Sagittarius that's out of whack, right? So you have the Knight of Wands in the reverse and the Temperance card in the reverse, and both of them are the signs for Sag. So, jeez, Aquarians, what's going on here? Okay. Alright, so let's check out what the Wheel of Fortune is spinning for you guys, because it feels like when Jupiter turns direct, and that's what it's saying, the next step, that something's happening, and there's going to be an end and a new beginning to something, because you have the World here. So we're going to pull one more, just because it's such a heavy, like, reading. Like, there's, like, it feels like there's a lot to this, you know what I mean? Just because we have so many trumps. Okay, so you have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So you go from the 9 to the 8, and it's in reverse. So it's bringing you out of this feeling of being trapped within your head, you know? I'll take one more. And we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse, right? So your plan to move forward is working. So the Seven of Swords in reverse, I read as a well-laid plan. To get away, to have to, you know, whatever you have to do in order to make your things manifest. So you're moving back towards something because you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Seven of Swords. So this is bringing you to like a full circle thing, but a new beginning, and bring you back to the place that you were when this all started, and to be able to move and like almost rectify something, right? So to be able to create something that makes it spin more in your favor with that Wheel of Fortune, because it looks like you've had quite the hard time of navigating this because there's so many players involved, you know? But it looks like, you know, Jupiter turns direct, and then you will be able to move forward easier, right? So that's also your 10th house. So it's how you're seen in the world, right? And 10th house Jupiter can be really nice, and it's able to manifest now, so that's beautiful. Okay, so let's check out your love lives, my Aquarians. Very interesting. Very interesting. But you guys always are. Alright, so Whispers of Love Oracle deck for my Aquarian friends. My single Aquarian friends. The heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye, I bet. Alright. Recognize what this is all about. That is so fitting for that last... Okay. Tarot of Dreams, my Aquarian friends. This is the only part of the reading where I put Venus too. But you're more than welcome to use your sun, moon, or rising, wherever you feel like you're resonating the most with at this time. You know. Okay. Single Aquarian friends. Okay, so you have the Palace of Cups in the reverse, right? So the place that you may be staying at may be emotionally unbalanced. You could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, you know, that is kind of flipping your house on its ear, right? Let's check it out. Alright, we get the Seven of Swords in the reverse again. So you got a plan to move forward, you know? You got a well-laid plan to move forward here. And then you get your wishes. Bang! This is so, like, with that other reading, right? Okay. And what where you're coming from here is the Palace of Coins, right? So, you know, you could be dealing with a more affluent house that has more money or whatever, but you want to move out, you want to move forward because it's causing some emotional imbalance, right? You could have, you know, been with an earth sign in the past. Doesn't have to be in relationship. It could definitely be, you know, just staying with them or something like that. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Alright, so, you know, you could feel like you're bogged down and anchored in this emotionally draining situation where you live, right? Like that you're stuck there, you know? Like, although you do have a plan, but the plan is successful, my dear Aquarian. And it's the star, and that's you. Okay. Let's see about this wish. Alright, so, yeah, it looks like, you know, you'll be able to talk about it, you know, it'll be fine, you know, like the plan that you have is going to be a success. You'll get your wishes, you can move forward, and, you know, people will still be talking. It's not bad. Yeah, so, you know, the place where you're living could be this place, the Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn household, right? Because you got the home here. But that, I couldn't have wrote a better one to go with, go with the other one, right? So, yeah, I'd say follow the plan that you're sticking with, because it looks like it's manifesting what you know, what you desire, what you want, your wishes, right? Okay, so let's check out my Aquarian couples. You guys are always so interesting. I love it. Okay. True love. Oh, baby. Okay. True love. Check it out. Check it out. This love is a once-in-a-lifetime love. Gorgeous. Okay. So, Tarot of Dreams once more. My Aquarians. I love it. Okay. Pardon my voice too. It's a little bit because of the allergens and whatnot out in the air. Okay, so you have the Sun in Capricorn, but this is the Four of Coins. So this is like, don't clench too tightly, my friends. Okay, so you might be like, oh, this is the greatest love ever, but you know, if you choke it out, then it's not gonna live. You know what I mean? I mean that in a figurative sense. Okay. Alright, so you have the Hermit in reverse. You could absolutely be dealing with a Virgo, and I read somewhere that Aquarius and Virgo are like the best couple ever. Alright, so, but somebody could be feeling left out, you know? You could be feeling a little bit broke. You know, the Virgo energy, we go from the 4 to the 5 here. You know, it could be dealing with being left out of, you know, something that's not even part of the relationship, but being left out of, like, a family thing, being left out of some kind of financial thing, like a business thing, right? And then we have the Four of Swords, you know, is how we got here. So taking a rest away from people. We have 2 4s, so it has to do with the stability and security in the world, right? So although you may really love the person that you're with, right, there could be some issues here. Okay, so with the Sun in Capricorn, the holding on too tight, there can be like a legal situation happening, right? Because of the Tower here, and the Tower does not mean the same thing in the Lenormand. It can be, you know, holding on for business matters as well, holding on for hospital matters, right? So let's check out this Hermit in the reverse, the sign of Virgo. I like the Hermit in the reverse better because they're more sociable. Okay, so there's a decision that needs to be made by probably this Virgo person that you're dealing with. There's some sort of decision. Maybe a court decision that even has to, that's too many. A court decision that even has to do with this person, right? Let's check it out. Okay, so, you know, your partner, or you even, if you have Virgo in your chart, could be, you know, being left out of, like, a child's life, you know? And although there is all this love within the relationship, you're dealing with something that they're holding on to or that you're holding on to. And it's because, you know, it has to do with being left out of a child's life, being left out of a new beginning, right? Because the child can be about a new beginning as well, right? So, so you know, it's like cutting out rest, you know? And maybe you guys have been sitting there talking about this and cutting out like the Four of Swords and keeping to yourself about it. So like actually talking about this so that you can move forward with your love, you know? And just remember how much love is there, no matter how much you have to battle with other people about other things that don't really have to do with you, but have to do with your partner, or them, you know, having to deal with stuff that has to do with you. Just remember how much love that there really is there, and then it's worth it being, you know, kind of dragged through this, but that's what it's trying to tell you. All right, my Aquarians, so be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and if you'd like to get a reading with me, then just check in the about below. Take care.